Well, Refocus Podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello. Once again, it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. How's everybody doing today on this lovely Monday? Like, I didn't even check the weather, man. Like, let me see, man. I know yesterday it was gloom and doom. And the day before that, it was actually great because we went to a wonderful wedding. I want to say congratulations to Gina and Robert Davis. No, let me say Robert and Gina Davis. Come on down. It was a great wedding, just beautiful people, beautiful people. And it was nice to really be great for us to partake in their nuptials on Saturday. So it was great, It was great. So we went from literally 85-degree weather to gloom and doom. Wild and crazy, right? Yesterday was like 60 degrees and raining. I wasn't ready for that. But that's how it is over here in Lansing, Illinois. I don't know where you are at listening right now, but I hope your weather is great today. I really hope it is. But anyway, people, this is beside the point of today's episode. I want to let y'all know this. You know what? I titled this episode, Stop Pleasing Others, because there are so many people that I've noticed and I see that are pleasing other people. They're being people pleasers. But the thing is, it's okay to do things for people, but you don't have to do things to validate your feelings. How can I put it? You don't have to do things to go ahead and validate other people's feelings through their approval of you. So stop pleasing people. That's the thing. And I mean that in the best way possible, because the thing is, there are healthy ways to please people, but people also have to respect you and what you bring to the table and what you offer. So that's why this is titled Stop Pleasing Others. You could take it how you want it. You know what I mean? It'll be some people who listen to this and they just are very drastic with this, but there'll also be some people who are lighthearted with this. And I'm going to tell you, like anything, when you want to stop pleasing others, you have to know your limits. Okay, that's going to be step one. Step one is knowing your limits. Okay. And the only way we come to know our limits is by testing out the waters, right? We have to put ourselves in certain situations, right? We have to put ourselves in certain situations and in certain avenues so that we can see if we can withstand some obstacles or some challenges that we may face in this life. That's what we have to do. So you have to know your limits, and know your limits by challenging yourself to put yourself in uncomfortable situations with people. Because the thing is that we all know there are certain things that we will and we just won't do. Right? Like, for instance, I could say this. Like with a lot of people, I'm starting to realize that now taking pictures is one of the greater things that I'm good at. I could do the whole video production thing. I could edit video. I can throw it down. I can make it happen. I can give you some gold out here. I got some things that I can put out. You know what I mean? I can give you some gold. But what I enjoy is taking pictures. Real talk. To me, it's soothing. It's easy. You know what I mean? It's easier for me to capture the moment or what somebody is looking for rather than me trying to construct this masterpiece. Now I can do it. I'd rather do it with a team, but my lane is taking pictures. That's me knowing my limits. You know what I mean? It's knowing my limits. I'll take a special project, you know what I mean, and do something with that. But that's what I mean by knowing your limits, people. Know your cutoff. Know where you will want to take yourself. You know what I mean? How far you want to take yourself with your skill set and what you have to offer and what you're working with within. You got to know your limits, okay? And knowing your limits, like I said, is testing yourself. You have to be able to test yourself. If you are not willing to test yourself, you'll never know your limits in life. You will never know your limits in life if you don't test yourself. Don't allow, now let me tell you this, don't allow people to test you, because there's a difference. When people are testing you, it's usually for their own gain, or they're trying to see something on their own. They're trying to see what you can do. But don't allow people to test you. No, 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 no. Have limits and have boundaries for yourself, so you know how far you're willing to take the actions that you're willing to do for people. Now, you're always supposed to be kind-hearted to people. You're always supposed to be giving. You're always supposed to be loving towards people. You know, the Bible instructs us to do these things. Once again, people, I believe in God. That's how I roll. You know what I mean? So that's how we do things over here. That's how we do things in the household of Jeff Relaford. You feel me? That's what we do. So I care what you believe in, but you know, my whole thing is, you know, believing in Jesus Christ, all that thing, and the higher power within God. God is within me, yada, 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 the whole nine. I'm not going to use it to preach, but I know my limits within that. You know what I mean? I know the limits within my gift, how I want to work it, what I know God has given me, and I know where I'm going to go with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what people see on the outside. That's another thing, people. You cannot be concerned with what people see on the outside. Okay. Now, there are some conditions with that. Okay. Number one was knowing your limits. Number two is not to be concerned with people on the outside. Because guess what? While you're discovering your limits, like I always tell y'all, you're going to learn some things about yourself you haven't learned before, people. You're going to learn things about yourself that you haven't learned before when you're in that realm of trying to know your limits, so you can stop pleasing others and start to learn how to please yourself. And I'm going to tell you this, pleasing yourself will seem very selfish in the beginning. And it will. It will. I'm going to just throw it out there, because you have to learn a simple word called no. Simple word, one syllable word. You know, we all use it. Sometimes people abuse the privilege of what that word does, but you have to learn how to use the word no. Because if you don't use the word no, it's a very key portion in knowing your limits, right? Very key portion in knowing your limits, because that puts a stop to certain things. It just simply puts a stop to certain things. So I really want you all to be mindful, okay? When you stop pleasing, you got to know your limits, okay? You have to know your limits. And while you're discovering and knowing your limits, learn to say no. Learn to say no. That's just going to be point number 2. Learn to say no. I switched it up. Yeah, I switched it up. Learn to say no. Because I'm telling you, no is a very powerful tool. And it could be a great superpower if used right. It'll help you manage a lot of different things that you got going on in your life when you say no. That means when you say no, that means you're willing to only let certain things in that are in alignment with what you have going on, right? With what you have going on. And then you're able to push that particular thing out. That's what it is. You're willing to push that particular thing out. Because when you finally set limits and boundaries, and then you add no to it, okay, now you staying right on the path, people. I'm gonna look in the camera. You staying right on the path. That's the whole deal with it. If you learn how to stay on the path, you will never stray away from your end game. It may seem like it in the beginning, because the thing is, you're trying to get your thoughts together. You're trying to figure out which way to turn, which way to go. But I'm telling you, once you know your limits and you say no, it will work out in your favor. I'm trying to let you know, people, it'll work out in your favor. And the last part, this is going to be a real quick episode for y'all. And I'm going to tell you why I want to do it this way today. I wanted to go ahead and leave you all with some practical points. And I wanted something to stick. I want to leave you all with some practical points, and they can stick. So you have to know your limits when you stop pleasing other people. You have to know your limits, learn to say no, and you have to stick with it. Stay on the path. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because that is the only way people will start to take you seriously. Okay? You have to say what you mean and mean what you say. And like I said, in the beginning, what will happen is you will start to feel like you're being selfish. It's okay to pull back from people. Let me tell you something. I've pulled away from some people for a couple weeks now because and just all people, because once again, I'm working, I'm in the think tank, I'm doing things, certain things are happening, certain doors are opening up for me. So I have to be ready for that. You know what I mean? A lot of times people don't understand, they see you on the outside, but they don't know what it takes on the back end, on your inside, to really prep yourself for your next level while you're moving in faith and while you're operating in faith. A lot of people really don't know what that takes. It takes a lot of patience. It takes diligence, and you have to see your path through. You got to see your path through, because if you don't see it through, you'll go around left, right, everywhere. You'll be jumbled up. You'll be very jumbled up with your purpose and the steps that it takes as you walk in and complete your vision. You know what I mean? Because oh man, we went out yesterday with some amazing people that my wife introduced me to, some amazing people. And when we got introduced to these people, it was awesome, because she used to go to school with this particular woman. Fifth grade, yo. It's just crazy how God lines stuff up for you. Fifth grade. And meeting her and her husband and just speaking and talking with him, he said some things. He said, you have your purpose, your mission, and your assignment. God gives us all the same purpose. That's to spread the gospel. We all have the same mission. I forgot what he said what the mission was, but your assignment is how you incorporate the purpose into your gift. I was like, yo, when I heard that, I had heard it before, but how he put it was like real plain. And it just made the most sense. And I'm like, you know what, big dog? You right about that. He was right about that, y'all. It was awesome. So, yeah, real talk. Like, you have to be able and willing to know your limits, say no, and stick with it. Trying to tell you, people, if you end up sticking with it and you stay on the path, like I said, people will start to take you seriously. They'll know where you're at in your particular realm and space. You know what I mean? And it's healthy. It's just healthy for you to take these 3 steps so you can stop pleasing others and you can learn how to please yourself. Remember, just because you put a cutoff on something, that doesn't mean you're being selfish. And I think we think this about people is because we want people to do things for us all the time, right? We want people to do everything for us every waking minute and second. We want to be pleased. Let's just say it. We want to be pleased. And since we want to be pleased by people, what do? We put our expectations onto them. So when we put our expectations onto them, we don't take the time to see what somebody can give us, right? We don't want to take the time to do that because we want what we want and we want it now. So what you have to be willing to do is you have to be willing to look at what somebody can offer you based on what you have, based on what's right in front of you. And if they can't fulfill that need, it's okay to move on to something else. Okay? Because that is how you know your limits on what you're willing to get from people and what you're willing to give out to people. Because also pleasing others, what it does is it also allows you to bring people in to help for them to help you, because you're helping them by them helping you. So remember, if somebody does a duty for you as well, that can also be seen as pleasing others. So you have to know your limits and say no from how you want people to provide certain things for you in your life. You have to be willing to say no to that as well. And I get it, because we want to try to save the world, right? As Christians, believers, we want to try to save the world. Just as regular, everyday people, that's what we want to do. We want to try to save the freaking world. And we want to help those we love. But a lot of times you have to have limits and you have to say no. And it's okay to do that. Feeling the selfishness is just a part of the process. So go through the process. Take your time. It's okay. Now, the people that are your friends, they'll truly understand. They'll truly know and they'll truly get it. So when you separate from them for a certain amount of time, or if you have to distance yourself, or if you're taking time to work on different things that are applied to your assignment within your purpose, they understand that. Because the actions will speak for itself. They'll see you moving and they're willing to say, all right, cool, I can link up with them as I link up with them. True friends will do that to you. True friends will do that to you. Real talk. They'll give you your space. They'll give you the time that's actually needed because they see you cultivate yourself. They see you pouring into you. You pouring into you. Let me lay that out there, people. You not pleasing others is you pouring into yourself. You are filling your own cup before you fill somebody else's cup. That's just what it is, people. It's you filling your own cup before you fill somebody else's. Some would say that's self-care also. You know, if you stop pleasing others, you will move into that realm of self-care. You know what I mean? So we can couple these and group this together. You know what I mean? We can make it one. You know what I mean? We'll merge that. So, you know, when you know your limits, you say, learn the power of no. Learn the power of no, and not in an arrogant way. Because no does not have to be represented in an arrogance. No can be represented as a limit. Okay? And there's other ways to say no. You could say, nah, man, you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing that. You know what, man? I would feel better if you did it by yourself because it would give you an opportunity to learn. Now, I can be that. I can show you some things, but I can't be there to aid you through the whole process. You know what I mean? Because there are also things that I got to do too. I'm on time crunch with certain things. You know, there's a certain way to say no if you feel that no is going to offend somebody. Okay, so learn these steps. Take a second to really pay attention to how you can refuse people. Okay, because there's better ways to refuse people than just saying no. Like I said at the beginning, some people are going to take it and run with it and go hardcore with it. Others will come at a lighter approach. I don't care how you do it, as long as you make sure you treat people right while you do it, it'll all work out. So, y'all, I just wanted to give you these 3 steps, yo. You remember, know your limits to stop pleasing others. Know your limits. Learn the power of no. Okay. And you have to stick through it. You have to stick through whatever it is you said you working towards and why you said the refusal or the no, and stick to it. So people will take you seriously, because the moment you linger away from that no that you're used to telling people, people will come back and think it's okay. And you don't want that to happen. You need to put limits on yourself so you can stop pleasing others, so then you can please you. So, all right, y'all, this is your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. I thank y'all for listening, man. And please like, share, follow this video, please, myself and my pages. It's easy for y'all to reach me. Y'all know where to go. Y'all know where to find a brother. So go ahead, please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and everything. I'm also going to play it again at the end, so you know where to find me also. So, all right, y'all. Remember, it's Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. Your boy, Life Coach Jeff. I love y'all. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus.